All right, everyone, and we are back. So get ready for Stray any percent PC glitchless with HUDs and Mindez on commentary.
Thank you very much, Ruby. Hi, everyone. It's lovely to be back at Power Up with Pride. Very honored to have been invited back. Yep, my name's HUD601. I am going to be running Stray for you all today. We're doing the any percent PC glitchless category. And yeah, joining me on commentary, I've got the one and only Mindez. Hi, Mindez.
Hello, that's me. How's it going?
It's very, very good. I'm looking forward to this run. Before we get started, though, Ruby, I believe we had a bid war for. Can I just say, I love the fact that the name of the bid war was pick a cat skin, but the description is to choose my skin, which I'm slightly worried about here if I'm going to have a change of skin before the run.
Yep.
But
Change your skin.
Yep, so just go ahead and shed that really quick because we are going to update you to the Spyro skin.
fantastic. Right, let me go and don my horns and my wings, and we'll get ready to go.
No, that's a significant upgrade. I gotta be like, let's be honest.
Can I breathe fire? That's the question.
Absolutely.
Do I get to breathe fire? So, a couple of things to let you all know about before we get this run underway. So I've already pre-prepared with the Spyro mod because I did see the bid war and checked, and if I have to change it, I have to restart the game. So thank goodness nothing changed on that one. So to let you know, in regards of this game, firstly, I'm using 3 different control schemes here. I've got keyboard, I've got mouse, and I've got controller, and I will be switching between all 3, which is allowed for the run. I'm also running a macro for this game, which allows me to replicate a free-scrolling scroll wheel. This is sanctioned for speedrunning Stray. It is provided by the Stray speedrun community, but I just need to make you aware that when it comes to the menuing, if it looks like it's abnormally fast, that is why. And we are allowed to use that. Aside from that, we will explain everything else in the game. So, Mindez, are you ready to go?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Right. Let's clear this save slot, and we will get underway in 3, 2, 1, go. So, everyone, this is Stray. This is your favorite 2022 cat game. And we're going to be starting off here in the prologue and starting off like all good games with a cutscene. You can see it's raining, it's murky, it's dark, and we're going to be introduced to our favorite dragon friends.
Oh yeah, it changes everyone's Spyro, doesn't
It
it?
changes everyone, and the run is already cursed.
Incredible. Well, usually we got some like nice cute cats doing some cat things here. We got them like snuggling up to each other and playing with each other. Instead we're gonna have dragons. It's gonna be great.
I'm gonna have to remember to every time I say cat, I'm gonna have to change it to dragon now.
Everyone's favorite 2022 dragon game.
So we're going to be going through, we've got these 3 dragons here at the beginning, and we're going to be interacting with these in a very specific order. We're starting with the right one. We're going to go to the one at the front here, and then we'll go to the one at the back. Doing them in this order saves a whole second in a 1 hour 22-minute run.
Yep.
But, you know, you've got to save the names.
We see the
What?
It looks like it. Thank you for releasing me, Spyro.
I've never run the whole game with a Spyro mod. That's my first time seeing that. Oh god.
That is incredible. Yeah, I think they have like the palettes of the like I don't even know. It's very. This is a very strange start.
Okay, so we're gonna lie down here on the cardboard box, and that completes the prologue. And we're gonna have another lovely cutscene where we're gonna wake up in the morning. I already love this.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how ridiculous this is. I'm pretty sure the Spyro model is quite a bit bigger than the usual Stray Cat model as well. So they were very clearly just like clipping into each other while they were like interacting there.
When the butterfly just passed through Spyro's neck.
Yeah.
Ignore the fact the butterfly is inside Spyro.
Yeah. It's the completely motionless line there that I'm liking as well. It's that's fantastic. But yeah, here we have the post-apocalyptic looking world. We have this family of dragons that I guess are surviving together.
One made of stone.
One made of stone.
Where is our stone friend? Yeah, just busily, you clipping in and out of one another. I should point out to everyone in chat, by the way, that I haven't technically done a full run with the Spyro mod, so I'm assuming it's completable, but we'll find out.
Oh, that's the perfect start to a marathon run. That is. I assume this run is completable. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
What could possibly go wrong?
Here as a host, so we might have some fun a little bit later.
Yeah. Ruby, you're gonna hold this one together for us, trust me.
All right, we got it.
Look, we're only like 3 minutes in. We can't devolve into chaos yet. The chaos comes later.
Oh, Mindez, do you want to explain the title card and inside the wall here?
Absolutely. So the story consists of numerous levels, and most of the levels in this game are are fairly linear and getting from A to B and doing some platforming. But yes, each of the levels has a title card which has a word on it, and you won't be able to read that word because that word is written in the game's in-game language. So yeah, there's a whole language developed inside this civilization that we're going to meet. And the title card for this one says the word blue, which refers to the color of the sky, because we're not going to be seeing much of the sky going forward, but we'll enjoy it while we can see it. And yeah, each of the chapters is associated with a particular word, which just gives you a little bit of a hint as to what we're going to see in it.
And I say with Spyro's model being so big, it's really hard to line up some of these charts.
Yeah.
Because it's very reliant on knowing exactly where the cat is.
You definitely crouched under that pipe there. Yep, definitely.
Oh dear. Also, I'm just going to curse everyone watching this right now on the basis that I've just noticed. I know it's we're streaming in 30 FPS here. On my side, I'm seeing this at like 200 FPS. The Spyro model though is 30 FPS, and it's so jarring. Okay, here's the cutscene. They've magically transformed by magic back to cats.
Yeah, we're going to be able to see exactly which of the cutscenes are in engine and which of them are pre-rendered. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh no, our poor cat friend. Mindez, do us the honors.
Long live the king.
No.
One of us always has to do it. But so anyway, that was a completely unrelated group of cats to the dragons that we're following in the story.
Don't turn your back on me, Scar. I need to watch that film again.
But it turns out our Spyro friend has had a very similar story as well and fallen down into this abandoned-looking, trash-filled sewer tunnel.
Yeah, that was just an unrelated cutscene. I don't know why that's in there.
Completely unrelated.
Okay, so we have fallen down here into the sewers, and we have no way of getting back up. And our poor friend Spyro here taking quite the tumble and blacking out once more.
Yeah, we get another cutscene here to start off the game. This one's about 40 seconds long, and we're going to see a little bit of a mystery. We're going to see these panels start to come into life, as if triggered by our presence.
A mystery door opens. We should go explore.
Absolutely.
So we're going to wake up once more.
Fortunately, Spyro, very resilient even after a long fall like that. Gonna just kind of lick the wounds and then should be able to just casually get back to casually work our speed back up to a run.
There we go. Go on, Spyro, get a trot on.
Yep.
Don't mind the fact that he's meowing.
Speaking of meows, do we have time for some quick donations?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, awesome. We've got a $50 donation from Petty. Keep up the good work, everyone. I'm putting my donation towards unlocking Splatoon 3 because as we all know, Octolings are trans culture. We've got $20 from Rudisu, Winter Pride 2022. Let's go. Loving this Kirby Nightmare run to kick things off. And finally, we have $10 from my cat Charlie, who says, I don't know if the mic picked up the meow, but she meowed.
Ah, fine. I'll do you an in-game one in a second.
All right, appreciate it.
I'm holding a bucket at the moment, so I can't. Well, I say holding a bucket. It's currently wrapped around my neck.
Yeah.
There you go. That's something meow.
Yeah, there's loads of different models for this that you can get as mods in this game, and some of them don't quite line up with the cat model, the Sparrow one included. So we're gonna see some fun things in this run, I think. But yes, this is Dead City. So title card at the start of this one just said City, and yeah, we're starting to explore this strange world that we've landed in. We start to see some of the there's lots of signage around that's got like arrows on, which is really cool, like immersive environmental storytelling, and kind of gives you a bit of an idea of where to go. Into our little robot friend here and just kind of abandon him because, you know, we got things to do, we got places to go, we gotta go fast.
Gotta follow that rainbow. Right, so we've got this little cutscene here, and all of a sudden, these totally not head crabs, TM, have come to life. Rather scarily. There's my macro. Cool. Right.
So this is the first Zerk chase sequence. So there's a couple of places in this game where we're going to have to run away from Zerks. The Zerks will hurt Spyro if they can land on him, and if enough land on him, then you know, they'll essentially eat him. But most importantly, slow him down. So we want to avoid that. Fortunately, the macro here actually spams the meow button, and meowing at the Zerk causes them to be stunned and fall off. So by spamming the macro, we can basically run through these Zerk no problem, and they can jump on us and we don't get slowed down at all, which is very, very helpful. As we get to the end of this Zerk chase here.
There we go.
There is actually an achievement for getting through that chase section without any of the Zerk hitting you. Have you got that one yet?
No, I've still not got that achievement.
It's only about 2 hours to do. It was really freaking difficult, but
like 60 hours of playing this game and I've never managed it. Where's my jump? Oh, there. Thank you.
Eventually it'll happen, but yeah.
So yeah, now we're doing our platforming section. I'll be honest, this is probably the part of the game I like least. It's very finicky and it's very easy to miss jump. So the game, you'll notice that every time I come near a ledge, it gives me a prompt, and that prompt will allow me to actually jump there. But the game's not 100% great at picking the actual way you want to go. You kind of just have to hope you've got the camera in the right kind of area. So yeah, this bit with so many little finicky jumps and everything, it can be very tricky to get this right, and it's very easy to lose time on this section.
Yeah, definitely, and every single little like bit of time of missed jump is such a massive time loss. Like, the seconds really do add up throughout the course of the game.
Yeah. Oh, glad I got that jump. That's pain.
You can see we've also got some very environmental platforming with like rolling, like getting inside the barrel and rolling it, and then jumping on top of it, knocking these planks off to make bridges. And it's just really cool how they've like made the world, and it just feels really nice to just run around in. I'm gonna try and head under the railing there. Not quite getting that. That's fine.
You have no idea how much harder it is to control Spyro than the cat. The size is so off-putting.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what your like hitbox / like collision box is, because
I think the hitbox is the same. The problem is that all of my cues for jumping are completely thrown off now.
Yeah, it's the same, but it seems to just be Spyro's body. Like the head's just kind of attached and like it's kind of in front of where the cat would usually be. I don't know. It's very disorienting, but you are mastering it like a pro. So there we go.
Oh dear. Here we arrive in the flat, and we need a body. A body is required for download.
So we have a cat on a keyboard there. That's a fun little sequence. You just like jump on the keyboard and send some messages. Now this room is one of the hardest to route in one of the originally hardest to route in the run. So we've got to go around this room and collect 4 batteries and put them in these slots down here. And they're all in 4 different places, and then you have to place them in the sockets. Unfortunately, these sockets are really finicky. the prompt has to appear on screen before you can put it in the socket. So there's a very, very large chance of putting trying to put it in the socket and accidentally putting it on the floor, as we saw a couple of times there. It is really, really like very easy to do. The prompt just disappears and you just end up putting it down. With all four in the sockets, you can come in here, knock this on the ground, and we get sparks. Oh, I forgot it's sparks.
Yeah, it's sparks with the Spyro mod. We'll pop sparks in here. Honestly, it's the little touches that I love. So you can see here all the data being uploaded to Sparks. Him falling on the floor.
Yep, so Sparks is going to be replacing B12, who's a little drone that is going to be coming with us on our adventure. I love the way the wings just don't move at all. It's just floating. Yeah, it's fine.
He is propulsion powered. Ignore the light coming out from his bottom. It's a wonderful mod. What can I say? Oh dear.
Y'all, I am so glad I have a quick mute because I'm dying over here.
Oh, it's wonderful, isn't it?
I think this has just surpassed the Garfield mod as my favorite mod of this game now.
Okay, so what just happened here is that Sparks, or B12, has given us a backpack, but obviously because it's Spyro, we've removed the backpack from this, so it doesn't look too weird. There we go. And now we're finding an escape from the flat here.
Yep.
I'm a good speedrunner, so I remember my codes.
Remembered is a very strong way of putting it. Yep. So like all good speedrunners, has a sticky note with the codes on in front of them. I know how it works.
Literally have a sticky note in front of me with a code. So I kid you not, chat. 10 minutes before the run started, I'm here going, "Where's my post-it note gone? Where's my sticky note?" And I could not find it. And suddenly I'm like, Mindez, what's the codes? I can't remember the codes. I've played this game for 60 hours and I can't remember.
Hey, at least this time it was before the run. I mean,
That's true. Rather than getting to it and going, "Oh God." Okay, so
it's always a fun time conversating with you. But anyway, yeah.
Okay, so Spyro, please. Over there, thank you. Right, so we've escaped the flat and we've come across this mural, and on the mural is a postcard of the outside.
Ooh, the outside. Sorry, I felt like that needed a bit of emphasis.
That's good.
Ooh, good.
Gonna continue on here, and we reach the slums.
Yeah, so the slums is a bit of a hub world, and it's going to be a bit different from all of the chapters that we've experienced so far. So we get to this section, and we find these robots called companions, and they clearly seem very scared of us. I mean, I would be too if I saw a dragon coming down the street, frankly.
Exactly.
Like with the cat, you kind of can't, like, it's kind of weird, but with the dragon, I can totally understand it.
So yeah, you can see the city or the slums here being put into lockdown. So we're going to go up and greet this companion here. This companion is the Guardian. And obviously you notice we're skipping through all the menuing because, you know, all the cutscene talky bits, you know, they cost time. It's a speedrun. But we'll try and keep you informed roughly of the story here. So we're going to go and speak to the Guardian. But he does not speak our language. So B12, or Sparks in this case, happily translates for us. And the Guardian recognizes that, you know, we're not a Zerk, those little head crabs that we've seen running around. So he's going to allow us into the village, into the slums here, as long as we promise not to eat anyone. So everyone in chat on your best behaviors, please. Please do not eat anyone.
I suppose that I can make that promise. We have to.
No. So we're going to see all the companions come back out now, and we're going to talk to the Guardian again. We're going to hand over the little postcard that we picked up over to the Guardian. So let's go give him the postcard and see what he tells us. He told us lots of important information that Mindez is going to fill you in on now.
Absolutely. He tells us that the elevator is not operational and it's impossible to leave this place except for the outsiders. So the outsiders were a group of companions that had this dream of going to the outside world and of this like magical place that nobody really believes they can get to. And we're told that they've all left except for one of the outsiders called Momo, and we're told to go and speak to Momo. On the way to find Momo, we're gonna go and do some things on the way. So the slums is a bit more of an open world area. There's quite a few things you can do. There's a bunch of side quests, and we're gonna do some of the side quests a bit later. But for now, we're going to go to each of the outsiders' homes, each of the outsiders' houses around the slums, and find each of their journals, which they all have hidden in their houses. So this one's kept in the safe over here. And once we've got all 4 of the journals, then we'll go and speak to Momo, give him the journals, and that's going to unlock the next area. Otherwise, we'd have to go to Momo and then get the journals and then go back to Momo. So we're just, just a little bit more efficient routing here. But yeah, we will be returning to the slums later on. It's a little bit of a hub for the next few worlds. Yeah, we'll be doing some more things in the slums part 2. Right now, just some efficient pathing to get all the way through. So these stacks of boxes as well, jumping up on top of it, jumping straight off to make them fall down. I like the flickering of the light there.
Yeah, so because of the way I have my my keys bound to my controller, certain keys share different things. So yeah, the scratching on the blinds also shares one of the buttons with the torch on Sparks here.
Yep, and here's Momo!
Yay! I love his pride face, by the way, the multicolored face. Is my favorite.
Momo is fabulous. We love Momo here.
Very fabulous.
So Momo is feeling a bit down. Momo is feeling a bit upset and a bit dejected about leaving, and he's kind of lost hope that in ever going to the outside world, because he's built a transceiver. It doesn't work. He's trying to contact someone in the outside world or someone else. However, by giving him the notes, it kind of revives his passion a little bit. Kind of makes him realize that it's kind of maybe still possible. He fixes the transceiver and then sends us on our way to go and attach the transceiver to a radio tower. So here is the rooftops, and our goal in this chapter is to get to the top of the tallest building so that we can place the transceiver and hopefully pick up a signal. At the rooftops, you can see, is a much more desolate kind of world. You've got the kind of like the red glow everywhere. It's much more run down. There's a lot more Zerk around, and we're gonna have quite a few like sections where we're gonna have to actually interact with the Zerk, like usually by rolling barrels over them to squish them or trap them in certain areas. While we do all this environmental platforming, there's a very cool mechanic with those platforms there, where we will like jump on them, and the momentum from jumping on them causes them to swing around, which is really a really nice little mechanic that you don't see that often. So here we're gonna squish some of these with the barrel.
Don't worry, they're fine. They love it.
Yeah, they're fine. They'll be back next run.
And you
They
can
always
see
are.
you can see how different the environment is here with all the forbidden lasagna over all the buildings. Don't eat the lasagna.
Yeah, and as we're kind of going around, we also have B12 or Sparks that is recovering some of their lost memories. And one of the memories in particular here explains a good deal of what's going on. That this large city had a company called NecoCorp, and they were responsible for trash management within the city. And as the trash came down from the upper levels and just kind of overwhelmed the slums, they tried to develop a bacteria to dissolve it all. And after the humans disappeared, the bacteria mutated and began eating more than just trash, and that is what became Zerk. Have a little Zerk section here. You notice that while in the barrel, the Zerk don't really tend to interact with you too much, and yeah, with the macro to just spam meows. Oh,
Yeah, we're good.
it's not too difficult to just kind of mostly ignore them. Oh. Oh. There we go. So here, this section is meant to be a bit of a survival section. So activating this lever over here causes an elevator to start coming down. So the idea is to survive until the elevator makes it all the way to the bottom, and as a bunch of waves of Zerk come out. But it's very, very easily cheesable if you just kind of sit on here, because the Zerk never hit you. And if they do, you just kind of meow and wobble.
We're doing the wobble.
We're doing the wobble.
So yeah, this is a little bit of an auto-scrollery section as we wait for lift to come down and then take us up. So Ruby, if you got any messages to read, now would be a fantastic time.
I do have some messages to read. I have a $20 donation from Dividend Vixen. You're all doing amazing. Keep up the great work. Go Spyro Kitty. # trans rights. And with that donation, we are just shy of $200 out of the $1,000 donation incentive to unlock Splatoon 3.
Ooh, nice, getting there with that one. Yeah, do donate if you are able to, everyone, for a fantastic cause.
Yeah,
Always
great
wonderful to be
Splatoon
supported.
3.
So we've made it to the rooftops here, and we have put our transceiver at the top, and it's lighting up this transmitter tower. And now we're going to get a little bit more of a cutscene, although we're going to be once again skipping through all of the text. But what we basically learn is that this is actually Walled City 99, and it was meant to be a shelter for the humans. The roof is hermetically sealed. And it was built by the humans to protect themselves from the outside, but the cost of that is that nobody can leave. The outside was basically considered a disaster. It's barren, unlivable, and dangerous. But B12, or Sparks here, believes that it is his mission to reopen the city. And as we're in a bucket, as always, spin!
I honestly never realized that the extended lore of the Spyro universe was quite this deep and dark, honestly. But there you go.
I'm just going to quickly... There we go. Right. Here we go. So we are back in the slums. This is Slums Part 2. And already from the very beginning, I'm a little bit against the clock because I am trying to make a particular cycle that comes up in about 2 minutes. So we're going to come down here, down to the barn. Not there's Spyro, my cycle. And we're going to meet Momo. And Momo's going to invite us inside, and we're going to come over to this computer here where we are going to start using the transmitter to see if we can reach the outsiders.
But even though you've got like, even though you're going for a cycle, Momo still has to do the pets.
Oh yeah, gotta do that.
Pet the dragon, or more specifically, pet the dragon's neck. So yeah, Momo here is accessing the transceiver that we placed at the top of that building to try and pick up a signal, and indeed, he does pick up a signal. And that signal tells us that the other outsiders made it out alive. They're safe. They found a way up. And in order to reach them, we have to go through the sewers. But Seamus then tells us that going through the sewers is madness and we'll never make it. And so we need to find a way to get through the sewers. A weapon, in fact, that Seamus's father was working on. So we're going to head to Seamus's apartment to go and look for clues for that. In the meantime, here is the cycle.
Oh, missed it. Yeah, that jump over to the bar sign. So yeah, missing that cycle costs around about 8 to 10 seconds. But yeah, that one jump on top of the bar sign rather than down to the bottom, because remember me saying earlier about how finicky the game can be in terms of where it wants to send you. That's the cost of it. Missing that cycle by literally half a second. You have to wait for the action to play out. But yeah, so we've gone and distracted this companion here who's thrown a paint can on the floor. And we are going to head down ourselves now. So Momo, you can see, is still walking here, and we'll continue walking while we are in the vicinity of Momo. I'm going to go in here and grab this Super Spirit detergent. That will come into play a little bit later on as we're doing some gathering here. We're going to follow Momo over here to Seamus's flat. Seamus was the person in the bar who basically told us that the sewers were infected with Zerks and that, you know, it's suicide. We'd never make it out alive. But we want to go and talk to Seamus. We're going to knock on the door, and yeah, Seamus doesn't want to talk to us.
Yep. So we've got to find an alternative way into Seamus's lab. Gotta stay a little bit back here because this is really easy to glitch into.
Yeah.
And also going to take this opportunity to cap the frame rate.
Yeah. This is a requirement to not glitch because oops. Excuse me. What is going on with my menuing here? There we go. Going all over the place. Right, so this painting here is the only time in the entire run, but the amount that the cat will travel at that point there where we jump in the sky is determined entirely by your frame rate. So if the frame rate isn't capped or is too high, you will get pushed out of bounds and glitch. Now we can just restart from last checkpoint, but it's quicker in this case to simply change the frame rate. There we go, and we'll change it back now. So the reason why we run uncapped is that the game obviously checks for your inputs every frame that it renders. So the higher the frame rate, the better chance it has of picking up your inputs when you're trying to jump. So the earlier you'll actually get things like the jumps, as well as the interactions. That's not that one, it's that one. Cool. But yeah, on that particular part, if you're running it, so my game's currently running around about 250, 300 FPS, it would have pushed us all the way through that wall there that you can see in front of us, and out of bounds and into the void, which we don't want.
Yep. It's a glitch run. We want no glitches. We want no cheating.
Yep. Just good, clean gameplay.
Clean gameplay, exactly.
So we're going to come over to the trader here.
Yep. And now we're back in the... So we are back in the slums. This is the slums part 2. And we are going to have to do some of these side quests that we didn't do before, because some of them are required. So what we've done is the detergent that we picked up in the laundry before, we have traded that over at the trader for some cables. The cables we brought over to the grandma robot to knit into a poncho.
Love a good poncho, mate.
Love a good poncho. The poncho is nicely insulated because they're insulated cables, obviously.
Hey.
I know. I hate that. But anyway.
No, you don't. You love a good pun.
I hate it. I love it though. Can I at least have that?
Yeah. I'll give you that.
And the reason we're doing this is we need the poncho in order to keep Elliot here warm, so that he can repair the tracker for us, and the tracker is going to help us find Seamus's father, who was working on a weapon to defeat the Zerk that we're going to need in order to set foot into the sewers. So we bring the working tracker back to Seamus, and Seamus is going to use it to track down his father.
So while we've got the tracker here, and we're going to be doing a little bit of a follow thing, one thing that we learn from the initial room that we discovered, where we actually found the tracker, is that Seamus's father, who is Doc, one of the outsiders, had been doing some experiments on the Zergs, and he has discovered that while they make quite cute sounds, they're never actually friendly. They're an old bacteria from human time. They eat all kinds of material. They have total vision in the dark, but they react to intense light. And just to verify the run here, we're going to go with a paper neck.
That paper bag does not work on Sparrow's model, but essentially that's That's the typical cat putting their head in a paper bag. So there's where the cat's head actually is on the model.
The fun thing with the paper bag is it actually messes up all your controls. So like if you go backwards, you go forwards, but it changes randomly. So good little bit of fun there.
Yeah. Oh, we're just following Seamus and waiting for him to get to his destination.
So we are now opening the gate towards the outside. But it's not the nice outside, it's more like The Last of Us outside. Great game, by the way. Yeah, we can see all these little pods around the wall, the more forbidden lasagna. I'm getting really hungry now, though.
Yeah.
I have lasagna for tea. So
See, when I first played the game, I thought it was like melted cheese, like on pizza.
Oh, it does look a bit like melted pizza cheese, doesn't it?
I guess, yeah. I guess it's the same. I mean, you melt cheese on lasagna as well, so it's probably the same. Same aesthetic, you know.
So before we head through this gate here, Seamus has given us a pin badge, the pin badge of the Outsiders, so that if we ever manage to meet Doc, he will recognize us as a friendly. Yeah, we are now in Dead End, and we're going to be going through this little chase sequence here, another Zerk chase sequence. And Mindez, over to you.
Yeah, it's a chase sequence. We're running away from the Zerk. Oh no! We got to spam the macro to make sure that we don't get slowed down. It's very exciting, these Zerk chase sequences. So usually in a casual playthrough you'd actually try and avoid these Zerk, but yeah, with the macro, just very happily just running straight through them.
Yeah, like the discovery that you could bind certain actions to scroll wheels, and then obviously, you know, for the original beneficiaries of that strat were obviously people with free scrolling scroll wheels. So for those of you out there who may not know what that means, your typical scroll wheel, like as you scroll it, you'll feel it click into place, and you can't just spin the scroll wheel, but kind of more performance-based mice, the scroll wheel is actually completely free spinning, so you can just flick it really fast and it inputs hundreds of times per second, sometimes thousands of times per second, which means if you're trying to get like the earliest possible frame for something, or you're trying to repeat an action lots of times, that is a massive benefit. So to try and, rather than trying to police free scrolling scroll wheels, which would be near impossible, let's be honest, instead, what the community decided to do was actually create a macro so that you can just hold a key on your keyboard and it will provide that input hundreds of times per second for you, which is what we're using here.
Yeah, it really evens out the playing field. It's a very good thing, and frankly, anything that reduces like like massive mashing in speedruns is very much appreciated.
Yeah,
RSI is not fun.
Yeah, it's definitely beneficial for you know, like the accessibility side of things as well as your kind of physical health, because you know, we've only got 2 hands and 2 wrists, and you got to look after them, because otherwise, well, you can't replace them. So here we are in Doc's house. We're going to head down. Here is Doc asleep, and if you haven't got the reference by now, I'm sure you will.
Right, Scott.
Find that bit. There we go. Right. So we found this, what looks like a giant torch of 1,000,000 candles. Did you ever have one of those, Mindez? Did you ever have one of those, like the torch with the power of 1,000,000 candles? I've always wondered.
I don't think so.
Maybe it's a me thing. Maybe it's definitely a British thing, I think, rather than, I don't think you get it many other places. But I always remember growing up, my parents had like this giant torch that we had, like a family torch. I remember buying it, and on the packaging very clear, it's like torch with the power of 1,000,000 candles. And I've always wondered, what would 1,000,000 candles actually look like?
That sounds like it'd be very hot.
Yeah. There you go. There's my random bit of trivia for the day. So Doc has given us this fuse, but Doc couldn't put the fuse in there himself, because otherwise the Zerks would have got him and eaten him. So we've gone and put the fuse in to provide the power to light what is the defluxer. Another little reference there for all of you Back to the Future fans. And now we've got to make our way back, and you can see here the defluxer actually pops the Zerks. So remember I was saying that they react to intense light? Well, nothing more intense than a giant power of a million candles UV light. That's canon now, by the way.
Absolutely. So yeah, Doc covers our escape there, back into the house. A little bit of a fist pump victory. You know, you can have that, Doc. You win. You did good. And the fastest re-engineer in history, as Doc re-engineers the defluxer to fit inside Sparks. Somehow. It was a giant megaphone. What? How is it? Does it fit? What?
What? Also, why did Doc just kick a bucket at her? I love this game. So this game this game has like the best physics ever, because obviously lots of things can move and stuff, but things like buckets just have like their own physics, and occasionally the game likes to do weird things a bit, like kick buckets at you. Okay, so we're going to go out here. We're going to use the defluxer, and we're going to take out the Zerks here by the gate. Now, the defluxer is very interesting on the fact that you only get 3 seconds of combined use. And if you go over those 3 seconds, you overheat the defluxer. Because he's had to miniaturize it, it doesn't have that much power. Like, Sparks only has so much power for this thing. So if you overheat, it takes 5 seconds for it to actually recharge, to recover from the overheating, to be able to be used again. And coming up in a second is going to be one of probably the hardest bits in terms of using the defluxer, because we have a lot more Zerks than 3 seconds, you know, will allow you to get rid of, if that makes sense. So we need to be very careful in terms of maintaining our defluxer to not overheat it and lose those 5 seconds. So just going to do this little barrel puzzle here, very straightforward and simple. Going to roll this barrel all the way to the other side to reach a vent to get inside this stuck door.
Yeah, and while the defluxer was billed as like absolutely critical for getting through the sewers, there's not really many times that we actually outright need it. It's pretty much just here. Yeah, but yeah, we're definitely gonna need it here.
Here we go.
So yeah, we're gonna open these doors, go inside, and you know, hopefully Doc's not gotten himself into trouble since we. Oh, Doc!
How could you, Doc?
Always getting himself into trouble.
I know, right?
So yeah, very carefully regulating the use of the defluxer there.
There we go.
Taking out the Zerk as they come in. That was incredibly controlled.
Thank you. Yeah, it's always tricky. You're always just balancing it on a fine line there.
Yeah, it's very easy to get overwhelmed there, and that's the source of a lot of time loss, at least in the runs I've done.
And while waiting for Doc to come over, I'm going to play with some of the physics. Got these lovely little baskets here. They're always fun to try and push into things.
Let's see what's going to happen this time.
Sometimes you can send them to space.
Marvelous power of the Unreal physics engine.
I always forget if this was built in Unreal or if it was built in Unity.
Pretty sure it's Unreal.
Yeah, it is Unreal, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I doubted myself for a second.
Me too. And we've escaped, and we are back at the beginning.
Yep. And more just waiting for Doc to do some pathing, and then we get a wonderful family reunion. Oh, it's heartwarming.
So sweet. Well, we're looking at this very sweet moment. Ruby, if you got any messages, feel free to jump in.
I do have a $20 donation from Brachial. I was gonna save my first donation to meme during my host shift, but cats and dragons are my first and third favorite animal respectively. Good job and good luck.
Oh, thank you.
Solid choices for first and third favorite animal. All right, and with the defluxer, now we can get into the sewers. So you saw the gate over here just kind of despawn because we were already close enough to see it. Yep. And we're gonna find Momo waiting for us down here with a little raft as we go for a nice little paddle through the nice, lovely sewers. Now, yeah, this is also a very, very fairly long section with not a lot of gameplay, because we're going to basically just, it's very environmental of rowing through the sewers and just being able to look around and see See just how abandoned this place is.
So the title card there says risk. We are taking a big risk by going into the sewers here. Oh, Mindez, fun fact, by the way, which we missed. You know the defluxer?
Yeah.
Do you know how much power it actually takes to run the defluxer?
Oh, is that about 1.21 gigawatts?
It is.
Yeah.
It is that much. Yeah. It's
That's a very
almost like
specific number.
it's an incredibly specific number. It's a lot of power
Yeah.
as well.
It's a lot of power.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing I'd like to do right now. So, just going back quickly. You remember when we got back to the slums from the rooftops?
I do.
And do you remember that we needed to enter a code to open the window to get out of the apartment, to get out of Momo's apartment?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to read us that code, Mindez, seeing as we've got time?
Absolutely, I do. Let me see if I can find it in my notes.
Best password ever. What? You haven't memorized this?
I really should memorize this.
You should.
Yeah, it's 5R42TSSFH://DDIIF1337 R6748923.14TY0LO_AMIL0L carrots DTS 5758123ADMIN. Easy.
Well done. Round of applause. Very, very good.
Yep.
Cool. So
Do that, God.
you know, the number of times we've done this run together and you've commentated, and I've every time forgotten to get you to say that, and I'm so glad I remembered.
Yeah. I have you got that written on your post-it note?
No, I probably should add it. Thank goodness Sparks puts it in for you. So while Mindez was reading out that password, which by the way no one now used because we all know what your password is if you do. So we got stuck from a gate, so we had to jump across. We've hit the switch to open the gate so Momo can continue through the sewers. This wonderful Venice-inspired. Yeah. And we're gonna come across in a second to another locked gate over here that we need to get open. So just wait for this to come through. You can see the cutscene about to play now. You can see the Zerks there in the top left just waiting for us. Now, I just want to give a little warning for the bit that's coming up here. It's going to start in around about a minute and continue for about probably 5 minutes or so. If for any reason you are squeamish or have any kind of issue with eyes or eyeballs, I know that sounds weird, but trust me. If you are easily scared of anything like that, you may want to look away for 5 minutes or so, and we'll let you know when we are through this section because it gets a little bit creepy. This lovely cat dragon game.
Yeah, they really want to emphasize just how dangerous these sewers are and just how overrun and infested by Zerk they are. So we're definitely gonna be seeing like a massive difference here in just how overrun this place is. This place is just covered in forbidden lasagna.
Oh yes. So yeah, for anyone wondering there, Momo, the machinery broke, and so Momo has lifted the gate for us and told us to venture forth and to find one of the outsiders, Clementine. So we're going to head through the sewers now, a little bit of a platforming section here as we jump across. I'm going to follow these pipes, and the macro is going to come in very useful in a second for basically kind of ensuring our survival, because we are about to get completely overrun by Zerks. So you're going to hear me holding this macro down, and we're going to be spamming the meow as we grab this lever, jump down, and through these gates, and you can see all the Zerks around and being released from these pods.
Oh yeah, the weird Zerk egg sacs. Yeah, so we've got another bit of a Zerk chase here. This time, don't have much of a choice but to run basically straight through the Zerk.
So you see the closer we get to the pods, they turn red, they inflate, and you see all the eyes around the walls on the forbidden lasagna. So, you know, this place not just overrun, but completely taken over. by the Zerks and the Zerk kind. A little bit of a respite here. So now we've got another gate in front of us. We need to hit 2 switches. There's one on the left side, one on the right side. Unfortunately, it's not quite as simple as just going from one to the other. So we're going to come down the side here. As we do, we're going to open up all these pods of Zerks. Oh, fine. We can just run straight through those without any issue. The problem is now here on the way back, because we now have to go all the way back around to the other side, and those Zerks are going to be waiting for us. But thankfully, again, with them being able to spam with the macro, we immediately knock any off that come to grab us, and we can continue on our way. This used to be one of the biggest, like, probably reset points. It's so easy to take a death there without the ability to use the macro, and taking a death there, you're easily losing between 30 seconds and a minute. So we make our way through the gate, and this is probably the one cutscene. If you've got any problems with giant eyeballs or anything, definitely look away now.
Oh yeah. They interestingly, they never like explain anything about the giant eyeballs or anything. The giant eyeballs are just kind of there.
Yep.
It's
yeah. This is never explained anywhere in the game. If you go and explore and speak to every companion and explore every aspect of it, they never explain what the eyeballs are there for or why. They just are.
Yeah.
So if we want to give, you know, for the people who are looking away, a little bit more nice audio, we have a $5 donation from Danger Dimple saying, I heard a rumor that if we donate, Mindez will rate our favorite animals. Mine are pig, shark, and snake. Club 601 represent.
Game is doing weird things.
What is going on?
I don't know. You know how I said I haven't technically tested a full run with this mod?
Are you backwards long jumping? What?
Oh, I've got to sit through the whole cutscene again. Oh, this could be a problem.
Oh.
This could be a real problem. Thank you, Danger, for the donation, by the way.
Yeah.
Shout out to everyone in Club 601. But oh dear.
Yeah, I'll say snake, fantastic. Sharks, I think sharks are pretty good. Pigs, yeah, I don't know. I can take or leave. There you go. There's your rating.
This could be interesting.
Oh, hopefully this doesn't break this time.
Let's see. No. I think it sparks.
Oh.
That's fine. Don't worry. Keep the timer running. We can fix this. I'm gonna have to take off Spyro a second. Keep the timer running. Where is my Spyro pack? Spyro, that one. Let's just quickly move them there. Just to get through this
It's all
bit.
fine. Nobody panic.
Panic! Get your panic baskets out in chat.
And
Right, game should
before,
come.
that's never happened before donations coming in.
Okay, so the one good thing is that, assuming it saved, yeah, it saves us basically at the last checkpoint. So we're going to see the cutscene for a third time now. as intended. It's a great cutscene.
Yeah. Like,
If you really...
if any giant eyeball fans out there, you know, it's incredible.
I feel like this is the start of the run coming back to haunt me. At the most haunting moment in the run of all, by the way.
I just want to read out a quote I wrote down. Hopefully this game is completable.
I love it.
601, 9th of December 2022.
Oh dear. Yeah, so obviously the cat picks up B12 here. My assumption is that it's probably the interaction between B12 and Spyro's knocked mouth that is causing some issues. The one thing I will say for everyone out there, the rules for glitchless on Stray state that if you do accidentally glitch for any reason, restarting from last checkpoint allows the run to remain valid. So despite that rather significant time loss, the run is still technically valid at this point.
Yeah. In the meantime, we're just going to follow the adventures of this cat that is completely unrelated to Spyro in every single way. So this is just happening elsewhere in the city somewhere.
all completely normal.
Yeah.
I'm now racing in my brain to try and think if there's any other times that this happens. And I think we should be okay. So when we get to Ant Village, I'll exit out the game again and put Spyro back on because it was a bid war incentive.
The only time that might be an issue is in jail, but I think it'll be funny to see if it is. So
No, because we've already had it where I've had to pick up like sparks using the cat's mouth or using
okay,
Spyro's mouth, so it should be fine. I think it's just that particular one because the game forces it into your mouth.
yeah,
So yeah.
forces your mouth while running, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
So we're just gonna get over. I'm gonna get to the point where we get a checkpoint. I'm gonna restart the game to put Spyro back on. So while we're doing that, Ruby, if you've got any more messages, feel free to shout out now.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just an update on some of our donation incentives. We have $20 out of $400 for the Majima Saga any percent bonus for Yakuza Kiwami 2. That's a mouthful. And we are just shy of $200 out of the $1,000 to unlock Splatoon 3 any percent for later this evening.
Oh, I love it. The thing I'm really worried about now is that cost me so much time because of the cutscenes. I'm really worried about Estimate now.
Listen, if it happens, it happens.
Can I just say, Sparks there with the wide eyes, like that Monkeress, is exactly how I feel inside right now. It's
I love it.
Oh, God. Oh, so funny. What a run.
So, but yeah, meanwhile, back in the adventures of Spyro, I guess.
Yeah, sure, you know.
So yeah, Sparks. As we've kind of been going around, Sparks has been kind of regaining some of their memories, and upon seeing the machine down there, recalls that the scientist that Sparks once was. Sparks once was? I don't know how to explain this storyline in terms of Spyro. So B12, B12 was a scientist, and yeah, he wanted to use one of those machines. He was sick, and it was his last hope, as he was alone, and he uploaded himself into the computer. And then everything was different, but the upload went wrong, and he was stuck for hundreds of years until we eventually came across him. And that is the story of B12 and how his consciousness was stuck in a computer until we downloaded it into the body of Sparks. Meanwhile, we've also met Balthazar, who is one of the outsiders who is staying in the Ant Village. And he tells us about the final outsider, Clementine, and how she is in Midtown. And she has a plan to leave the city. We've got a picture, we've got her address. And we're going to Midtown to try and find the last outsider and get out of the city forever. It's the dream.
Mm-hmm.
We've also seen the last of the Zerk as well. The Zerk, we're going to be having a very different feel for the area up here. So the slums and everything down there was very downtrodden and very, very poor. But up here we have kind of a thriving community, a thriving city really in Midtown. We have shops and everything and apartment buildings. And everyone just needs to be, and all the companions just seem to be going about relatively normal lives.
I'm going to leave you to continue commentating, so I have to try and remember new route for this. So
yep, that's fine. The route in this chapter has changed quite a bit, and this chapter is also very, very long as well. So it's there's quite a lot to remember. But yeah, so we're going to come up to Clementine's apartment here, and when we come up to Clementine's apartment, she's kind of we see a bunch of posters on the way, and she's basically public enemy #1 at the moment. She is very much wanted by the enforcers, the peacemakers, and for being a bit of a troublemaker. And so we go into her apartment, show her the photo to say that we're with the outsiders, and she will assume that we're in new recruits to the Outsiders. They'll give us a bit of a warning about the Sentinels, and she reveals her plan to use the subway, but we need to get the key to the battery to power the subway and a key to actually be able to use it. So that's going to be our main goal here. So the first thing we're going to do here after we talk to Clem is come down and knock these barrels off, this beer off this shelf. There's an NPC that's going to land on that's going to get up and start pathing around. And basically that NPC has determined the entire route for this area, because based on like it takes a long time for him to path to where he needs to go. So we've routed it basically so that we're always like minimizing the time that he's not moving. So by starting his cycle at that point, and then we're going to run past him to activate the second part of his walking animation. So we're going to see him there. He's coming out of the bar. So because we're in proximity to him, he's going to actually start the second part of his movement. And this is going to be another very tight cycle. We are also going to get a very loud music coming up. So yeah, apologies for that. I didn't get a lot of warning on that. This part of the music is obnoxiously loud by design. As we
just in time.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. So getting into that box with just a second to spare there. That's what the race is all about.
That's incredibly tight, but doing it that way saves versus the last route we had around about 15 seconds, I believe. It's quite significant time save.
Yep. So I've stolen a safety jacket and a helmet, and we're going to be using those to steal our way into the factory, where we're going to steal an atomic battery. Or at least we're going to be giving those to Blazer here, who is in leagues with Clem. So by giving him a worker helmet, worker jacket, he's going to be able to pretend to be one of the factory workers and smuggle us inside.
Ooh. Okay, so that's the tricky bit of that level done. I mean, the trickiest bit, I should say. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Okay, this is ridiculous. Like, it's already a little bit ridiculous that he's just kind of walking in there with a cat in a box, but when you just have horns sticking out.
That looks completely normal to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, is that the new delivery of horns?
I love it.
Yeah, it's fine. Wave it in.
Yeah, nothing to see here. All good. Okay.
Spyro's unblinking model really sells that scene right there.
It really does.
Oh, this is bad. Why? Ah!
So this
Okay,
is
that's fine.
yeah. So the factory is meant to be a bit of a stealth section, but we're not going to do like any stealth.
Nope.
That is not part of this run in the slightest. So we are going to mostly be attracting attention. Very nice there, getting back in time before the platform goes back, so you don't have to go all the way around. We're just going to run straight past these and attract their attention, because as soon as you get to this point, they stop chasing you anyway. Same with these, just going to run straight through them, because these boxes are going to block line of sight, and by the time we're over here and we're in this barrel over here, they're just going to stop firing anyway. They've not even followed us over here. Like,
I say
there's
those
very little actual stealth required.
Those first couple of Sentinels, they were on a cycle I've never seen before. That's like the second time I've had like a that's never happened before moment. The very first one after you jump out of the box, that one should never see you, ever.
Yeah, I wonder what caused that.
Spyro, probably.
Probably.
This mod is cursed.
It really is. Yeah, we're gonna use these like weird printer robot things. We genuinely have no idea what these things are. They're just like robots that can move.
Yeah,
follow
and
you.
They got Wi-Fi antennas, because why not?
Got Wi-Fi antennas. I think they're like remote printers.
I'll go with toasters.
That's my best guess. All toasters. Yeah, one of the two. Why not both? They're printers with toasting capability.
Can I say, for someone who normally always streams with a webcam, power up with pride, I'm very glad I didn't have it on today, because my face is a picture right now. Oh, God love you all. Right. Okay, so we've broken out of the factory, we've stolen the battery, and Midtown has changed somewhat.
Yeah, it has. So we will see that as we kind of get around this corner here, and we'll see that there are enforcers in front of the apartment building because they have found.
Don't you mean peacekeepers? I thought they had to keep the peace.
Peacekeepers, absolutely, are beneficial, gracious overlords.
And yeah, we've got sentinels monitoring all the hallways here, but again, we just run straight past them.
Yeah. The one drone that you kind of do want to try and avoid is this one over here. If it's not pathing correctly, okay, it did see Sparrow there, which means that we'll have to do a restart from checkpoint in a second, but that's fine. It pretty much just comes down to look as to where that enforcer is. We get back to Clem's apartment. Clem has disappeared, but has left a secret message for us in 4 different places in the apartment, so we got to do a little bit of sleuthing and go and inspect 4 specific objects, including this lava lamp over here. And we get the message: "I'm with Blazer. Come to nightclub."
Oh, I'm in trouble.
Oh,
I'm gonna get shot. Oh, I avoided it.
Do the restart. Okay. They worked out. It worked out. It's fine.
Yeah, that's really risky. So basically, if you get caught by that sentinel going into the flat, it tends to hang around outside. What you'd normally do is after getting the 4th kind of secret message, you would restart from last checkpoint, but in an RTA timed run, because we time it loadless, but in an RTA timed run, obviously that cost you like up to 15 seconds. So I thought I'd chance it there and managed to just avoid it.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So we come over to the nightclub over here. We got to do a little bit of a quest here. Fetch this companion a drink so that he gives us a lever, because you know people in nightclubs just have levers, right? As you do. Use that lever to shut down the system so we can climb on top of it, and when it reactivates, it's going to take us up to the next level, and we will go and hopefully find Clem, because you know Clem's over here, right? We get a little bit of a lighting puzzle, so we've got these switches that move bits of the lighting. Got to move things so that we can make a little bit of a path over them. And oh, we see Blazer over there. Oh, Blazer's friends with Clem. Clem must be over there. Easy.
Yeah, we'll go over and find out what he's up to.
Yeah, we'll just have a party and a bit of a drink.
Hey, Clem. Oh no.
Clem is looking remarkably tied up today.
Ah, oh no. So, what's happening here is that Blazer is double-crossing us and has tied up Clem, taken her hostage, and given us over to the Sentinels. I just want to point out that Blazer goes on a long spiel there, explaining his evil plan to a cat.
Dragon
To a dragon. Nothing wrong with that at all. Completely normal to be explaining your evil plan to a dragon.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So getting into the jail here, you'll notice that HUD's restarted from checkpoint as soon as the screen faded to black. That's because you can start swinging the cage right away. Otherwise, you have to wait for the screen to fade in before you can start swinging the cage. So again, for just a little bit of speed there. And yeah, we'll start making our way through the jail.
Ooh,
and that card there says lost.
There's a little puzzle there completed. Now we're going to make our way to the top. We're going to encounter another sentinel in a second. We're not going to worry too much about it. We're just going to run straight past. He will not shoot us. Mark my words. He will not shoot us.
Yep.
Yeah. And Spyro refuses to jump up.
Because everything's gone exactly as expected in this run so far.
Completely fine. Nothing bad has happened in this run whatsoever. So we have found Clementine locked inside the jail, and because we've lost Sparks as well, Sparks has been taken away, we can't translate what she's saying, but we get the gist of it. Oh, there's a key over there. Shiny. Go get. And go get we shall, for this prison was not made for dragons. Bit of an oversight, if you ask me.
It kind of does look like you'd have a bit of an issue getting your horns through between those bars, but I mean, it's fine.
I swear they're inflatable horns. It's the only logical answer here.
Yeah.
In this very logical game.
That makes sense.
Of dragons and companions.
They're just made of rubber.
Oh dear. Okay, so we freed Clementine. We're going to be heading down this little section. So Ruby, we got half a minute to a minute. If you got any messages, feel free to jump in.
We do. We have a $10 donation from Air Angel. Games and rainbows. What's not to love? That is so absolutely true. And I want to just go ahead and remind everyone about the Yeti. We've partnered with the Yeti to bring you shirts based on various runs throughout the event. These awesome designs will only be around as long as the marathon is, so make sure you pick them up now. $5 from each shirt sale goes directly to the Trevor Project. Visit theyeti.com. That's THEYETEE.com to check them all out. Personally, I think my favorite is the Four Mages.
Hey. I'm gonna have to have a look at them. I love a t-shirt from the Yeti. I have several. Thank you very much for that, Ruby. So, in the meantime, we have come down here, and Spyro here has noticed his best buddy Sparks is all locked up in front of us. Look, he's in a cage. He's in a glass case of emotion. Can't get out. So, yeah, we kind of...
It's weird how Sparks is there, but you got the B12 hologram that's
yeah,
we're protecting him.
We'll forget that bit.
Yeah.
I'm in a glass case of emotion. Anyway, we're gonna go and free Sparks now. So we're gonna head on down here, and we're coming up to another of the big reset points in a typical run. This is incredibly tricky here. So I'm gonna let Mindez take over.
Yep, so I did say before that there was not going to be any stealth in this game. That's kind of a lie. There's going to be a little bit of stealth, but not a whole lot. But yeah, we'll commentators is doing it. So we've got to go and rescue Sparks. We're going to head into this room. We're going to take the top path over these lasers down there. Those lasers will not let Spyro run through them. We get a very good cycle there. And very good cycle there with getting past the sentinel there as well. Now, for this section, Hud's going to activate this lever. We're going to get this cutscene. Hud still has control of Spyro during this cutscene, so he's going to run over here to Sparks, be standing on Sparks at the end of the cutscene, pick up Sparks. Yep, there we go.
Yep. Oh no. We're fine. We're fine.
Ideally not get seen, but it should be okay. We should be able to get out without getting shots. They are very, very slow to shoot, those sentinels. But yeah, being able to run to Sparks while that cutscene is still playing is incredible. Otherwise, there is a lot of stealth involved in getting to it.
Can I just say, those cycles I got on the lasers were amazing. Very rarely
really
get cycles that good.
Yeah.
Hit wrong button.
So now we've got Sparks back. Sparks can interact with the doors, open the doors. I'm gonna knock a brick off here to get Clem's attention.
Didn't actually knock him off, but it's fine.
Didn't actually knock him off, yep.
Unreal physics, let's go.
So Clem is going to destroy the window up there, which is going to let us get through.
Okay, let's see if we get a fast Clem here.
So yeah, Clem is going to go over and give us a boost up to the window. Now Clem is going to duck down and then get back up. If we can do it fast enough, there we go, perfect. We can get all the way through the window before Clem is even crouched all the way down. Otherwise, you have to wait for it to stand up again, and it's a couple of seconds time loss, but it is a very nice little time save.
Okay, reset point number 3 in a normal run.
Absolutely. So this is a somewhat difficult section where you got to lure these sentinels into these side rooms, close the doors, and then get back outside ideally without dying. So this first section is not too bad. It's only got the one sentinel, the one in the side room. So there we go. Just load it in, close the door. That causes Clem to come over here. The second section is probably the biggest because we can't exactly predict where exactly the Sentinels are going to start. So what Hudson is going to do is going to run in, try and attract the attention of both Sentinels, lure them in the room, close the door on his way in, use the pillars in the side room to try and shake their fire, and then get out the second door. So there we go, attracting the attention of both of them, running into the room, closing the door, using the pillars to avoid the fire, and out the second door. And that should be both of them locked inside. It is.
Yep.
Perfect.
We are good. We are good.
Yeah, it is very dangerous, especially not being able to predict where they actually start. So, the pillars aren't always reliable for avoiding the gunfire shots. So, coming into the last room in the jail now. I'm gonna open the door for Clem. And we're going to bring Clem's attention over to this little van here. But before we can drive the van out of here, we need to open up the garage door. To do that, we're going to climb on the back of the van as Clem reverses and gets us over this fence. And now we're going to go for a strat called Fast Van. So, once we open the door using this lever over here, Hud's going to run back and is going to attempt to jump on the van earlier than intended by efficiently sticking to the corners. So, we're going to see Hud jump on the very right side of this bin here and get as close to this corner as possible. There we go, that should be good. And Fast Van.
Very nice.
Yeah, if you don't get on the van that early, the van speeds off and you have to like follow it for like 8 seconds, I think it is, before you can get on it again.
Oh yeah, and there's a very high chance of being shot if you're not careful.
Yeah, because while the Sentinels are slow at firing, like running away from them in a straight line is about the worst thing you can do, and the game basically forces you to do that. So it's yeah, a very dangerous section if you don't get Fast Van.
We've got another random cutscene here with a cat. Don't know why it's there, but here we are back in Spyro Land.
Spyro's gonna pour at the gates here. Clem realizes they can't chase us both, so he's going to try and distract the Sentinels while we go and take the battery that we got from the factory and the key that we've just got and start up the subway train. But first we have to go and actually power the subway by following this wire down here and using the battery to start it up again. This is usually the point where I talk about just how good the music is in this game and how understated it is.
It is so good. It is good.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, the thing that I love most about this game more than anything is, like, it's got a fantastic story. There's loads to explore, loads of companions to talk to. It's got a very rich storyline as a result of that, a really rich narrative. But what I really love is just how unintrusive some aspects of the game can be while still adding to it. So like the music is perfectly designed to complement the game and the gameplay without taking anything away from the visual or the narrative. The visual design is designed so well without taking away from the narrative or the music. Like everything just complements one another without any one thing being being the driving force behind the game as a whole. Like it doesn't work unless everything in the game works together, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So our final level now, we are here in the control room.
Yeah, it is pretty incredible that this subway car does still work, but still work it does. And yeah, as let's say, it's the final level in the game. We're going to see another marked difference between the place we just were and where we've ended up. So we had Midtown, which was very kind of like industrial and kind of a little bit like trashy in places. And then here we just have a completely clean, well-maintained like facility. Basically, we have robots painting the walls and cleaning up, and it just seems, yeah, eerily well kept for being abandoned. So we're gonna lure that printer over here in order to activate the switch. But this is a timed switch, so gotta lure it over and do some cat hacking, or dragon hacking, sorry.
Getting the claws out.
Yep, just casually pawing at the terminals. And this brings us into the control room, the final room of the game. So it was from here that the, I guess whoever was watching over the city was, like, controlling things and originally sealed the city away. And so we're going to attempt to undo that. So in order to do that, we need to come over here. We need to turn on all of these computers by stepping on all of the keyboards.
Yeah, Hacker Man.
Hacker Dragon.
Sorry, yes, Hacker Dragon.
And then we have 3 terminals that we're going to need to get into. Represented by those 3 padlocks. One of them being over here, and we're going to hack into each one separately using our dragon hacking techniques. I'm just kind of happy feeting on the wires. And Sparks is going to download them or hack into them to release the locks.
Camera.
Second terminal over here. We're going to have to push this piece of metal down and hack away at it. Yeah, and in the meantime, B12 tells us how he hated the people in the control room. They had everything: clean space, limitless power, freedom to move. Little good it did them. And then there was a plague, and everyone was dying, and they thought they were above it all. They did nothing to help us. And B12 watched his family die and felt helpless. And so, this is what he considers his final mission: to open up the city. Activating the roof control station. But he knows that the power required is going to be more than the drone body can handle. And unlocking the system's going to destroy his memory. And he falls to the ground.
Rest in mon caress, my friend.
But it's okay. We have a little cuddle. We have a little curl up. It's cozy. And outside, the city opens. And like looking at this window, you really get a sense of the scale of the world of the city. You can see like Midtown over there on the right. You can see the slums down there in the middle. You can see like everywhere you've been. It's really cool how you can just like get to look over it all. And yeah, as the sunlight comes and strikes down on the city, all these Zerk who are hit by it immediately explode. Because of course, ultraviolet light. Ultraviolet light was always their downfall. Ultraviolet rays from the sun, immediately just bursting them. And we see Guardian and Momo looking up at the sun. They've dreamed of for so long. And yeah, even the Sentinels somehow seem to have been built only to withstand the dark, and they're overpowered by the light.
Yep.
And you can stay here and you can watch the entire city open up. It's only at about like 20-30% when you regain control. So the city is just still opening up in the background, but we've got control. We can leave. The door is open. So, yeah. Wall City 99 is open, and that's gonna be the end of this run very shortly.
Yeah, so the ending is going to be coming up when we reach the top of the stairs and the screen fades to black. That will be time. I will call it out as I can. Yeah, free once again, back into the sunlight. Going to be in about 3, 2, 1 time. Time.
We'll get the Spyro
Yay.
sniffs.
Oh, he's doing the sniffs. So yeah, that is Stray the Dragon, Conqueror of the Zerks. Brand new, it's coming out soon.
It's a departure from the usual Spyro formula, but I think it's a real evolution in the series.
Yeah. One thing I will say, considering I had a 2.25 minute issue in the middle of the run, I had to restart the game 3 times. I know I've gone slightly over on the RTA timer. I'm very sorry, Power Out the Pride. One thing I will say though, we timed this game loadless. I actually came in 3 seconds underestimate loadless. So I'm counting that one as a win. My clock says 1 hour 21:57. So I don't care. For me, that's a win. That's all I care about.
Incredible.
But yeah, so I'm very sorry, but yeah, 2.25 minutes. Like, I account for most things that can go wrong in this run, as you should with your estimates. I didn't account for the game literally not letting me proceed. And then having to figure out what was wrong. So, but hey, that's part of the enjoyment of marathon runs. You never know what's going to happen on the day, and usually things that you've never seen before will happen. But hey, that is Stray. I hope you all enjoyed it out there. The one thing I will say is this game, it fully deserved being nominated for Game of the Year. It has such a rich storyline. We've shown you just the smallest amount of what this game has to offer. You know, there's loads of side quests to do, badges to collect, loads of companions to talk to that really build up the story that we've only given you a real taster for. Please go out there and support Annapurna Interactive and Blue 12 Studio. Go and buy this game. Go and enjoy it for yourselves, because it is truly a wonderful, wonderful experience. I just want to say firstly a huge thank you, Mindez, for coming along once again to commentate on this with me. It's always a genuine joy to have you here alongside me when I run Stray, so thank you so much.
Oh yeah, it's a pleasure, and I think we devolved into chaos faster than ever. So we're setting a real record for devolving into chaos Stray percent. That's my new speedrun category.
We are a well-greased machine now. I want to say a huge shout out to everyone in my community over at Club 601. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for all your support as always. And it's always lovely to be able to do these marathon runs and see you guys in the chat. So thank you. Massive shout outs to Power Up with Pride as well. Thank you so much for having me back to do this run. I'm going to be back tomorrow, by the way, doing some Sonk. We're doing 2 Sonk games, so I'm very much looking forward to that. But honestly, you know, Pride and LGBTQ+, you know, issues and charities are very close to my heart. You know, it's something that I care about deeply. Trans rights are human rights. LGBTQ rights are human rights. Please never stop fighting. You deserve equality. We will get you equality. I am your ally. I always will be. And I care deeply about the Trevor Project as well. So it's a fantastic cause. Please get the donations in. Please keep supporting this event and all the runners as well. And yeah, with all that said, thank you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to hand back to Ruby.
Thank you so much for that incredible Stray run and that incredibly heartfelt message at the end there.